Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Good to see everybody. Glad you're here. August 31st, 2023. This time last week, I wasn't 40. This time this week, I am, plus a couple days. Good to see everybody. September rapidly approaches, doesn't it? Actually, we're about 1 hour away from the new month. Man, we've had a hell of a run this year. From where we came to where we are now never ceases to amaze me every single day. The good news is we're back. We're back here every day. I got the red lights on behind me. Hey, guess what? Market was red. I'm going to try to tie the lights in with the mood every week, right? And there will be a time we go back to doing 2 streams again every week, but I just didn't want to do that until it was a bull market. You know what I mean? I think it oversaturates a little bit. Anyway, glad to see you. Welcome back to Crypto After Dark. Let's go. So if you haven't done so, please go hit the like button. It's free. Likes cost nothing here. Zip, zero, nada. The more likes we get, the farther up the algorithm YouTube pushes us, the more people who see us, the more people we can help. All right. This is only a set number of people that will be out here with us doing this thing in the future. If you're not here, you're going to get left behind. I don't want it to be that way. I want everybody here as soon as they can, as fast as they can. If you don't get in, you don't get in. So I want you to spread the good word as much as you can. I shared the link over in the chat box for YouTube here, and I'll share it again so we can see it. And there you go. Share that around to your social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you got. Share it around. TikTok. I don't care. I don't have a TikTok, but share it around nonetheless. Get the education out there for people. So what I want to talk about first tonight is, you saw the thumbnail. The thumbnail says, hey, is this the last down that we're going to get here? Well, it's kind of hard to say, but I want to show you some things that I think may lead us to think that we're at least going to hit some sort of bottom here. All right. There'll be a couple different things to look at tonight. I want to kind of harp on one asset for a moment rather than jump around like crazy, but I am going to try to, timestamp everything because I got my timestamps where I can kind of change them now, where it was locked before, and I can only go change, so I can only edit so much stuff, right? Essentially, so it kind of restricts you as far as how much you can go back and change stuff. I guess that's for their algorithm or something. I don't know. Whatever. Not the point. Point is, I want to talk about this a little bit first before we go, all the way off in the rabbit hole. So we'll start with doing what I see first about, is this the last drop? So I'm going to go through this step by step with what I see, and then we'll compare some things. First, I've got this trend line drawn here. I'm currently in logarithmic mode, and that's down here in the bottom right hand corner. And for those people who are new to the stream, or you haven't been watching before, because some people have shared this around, and I want you to understand, this is TradingView, the site that I'm using. This is actually the app. You can use the website. It's fine. You can use the app, whichever one you like. This is the app. I've switched to the app from the website because it's a little smoother and it uses a little bit less data. And I was hitting the limit of my RAM when I had the streaming software and multiple other things running. So I've got the app going now. It seems to work a little better this way. It does freeze occasionally. I just close it out and bring it back up and it's fine. So I'm on TradingView and I'm in logarithmic mode and I'm on a daily chart. And why do I use daily charts? Well, essentially the idea is I want you to have to do this as little as possible. I want you to not have to stay on the charts constantly, because that's one of the main complaints that anyone who's learning how to chart has is, well, I don't have time. I don't have time. So let's start off by saying no excuses. If you can go to the toilet and read Snapchat and read Instagram and read TikTok, well, then you can get on your phone and look at TradingView for 5 minutes. You have time. You just choose not to make time. So I can't make you do anything. But what I do need you to understand is, while you may do well in the bull market, you will do exponentially better if you spend just a small amount of time each day working on what makes you money. All right. That's what we do here. We work on what makes money. We spread the good word and we make sure everybody understands it the best we can. So TradingView, logarithmic mode, and I've drawn a trend line because we had an uptrend. And I'll draw that out for you here so you can see it. Here's our low and our high and our higher low and our higher high and our higher low and our barely higher high or flat high. One of the two. It looks as though our trend has changed nonetheless. We have a higher low and then a lower high and then a kind of an even low. Just like we had up here with this even high, we have an even low. So we're kind of playing pity pat back and forth here. You could say that this was a flat high and a flat low, neither of which are good. We want up, higher, higher, higher. We got flat and flat. It's not great. So as such, I've drawn a trend line. Now I could have another trend line drawn in here, and I would hear the argument that yes, that is in fact an accurate trend line. That trend line has failed. And as such, I've drawn a much larger one down here for the overall since the beginning of the year trend. Now, obviously it kind of flipped at the beginning of the year and sped up on us real fast. So this lends me to believe that we got some more down coming based on the things that I've just drawn here. Okay. It's not based on my emotions or will or won't. It's just the things that I see. So that was first. I've identified the trend that I think is failing. Okay. Next, I've drawn some trend lines. So from here, I want to see how far back can this thing fall. And what I'll do first is draw some support and resistance lines. Some support and resistance lines we'll start with. Well, since we're right here at the price, I'll kind of start right here. I have a bit of a hump right here where price failed and a bit of a hump right here where price failed. I'm going to grab the candle bodies if I can, as many as possible. So I got a good many over here and a good many over here. Maybe bump it up just a little like that. And it kind of catches them all. And as you see, this over here kind of hit it just perfect when it bumped it. Okay, see that? Clean test. Now, we didn't break this yet. We didn't break this yet. So it is technically holding some support here. All right, so we can go a little farther down here and see that we got some more. We have some humps here, a hump here, a hump here, all where price failed to break. And this creates resistance because we're above it right now. So it's resistance for the moment. When we're under it, I'm sorry, it's support for the moment. Once we go under this, it's now resistance. It has to bang its head. Back here it was, banging its head a lot, not getting through. Well, we've broken over that now. So long as we're above it, we're above support and not in a terrible spot. When we're above support, testing it, we look for places to buy. Okay, so that's what I'm doing now is looking for a place to enter. I'm not looking for a place to exit. I'm already out. I'm already sitting in stable coins and have been for a few days now. Or probably a couple weeks, whatever. Nonetheless, we have another support line down here somewhere. We can draw some more. Probably got some more down here, right around $20,000 or so. Somewhere in there, some support. These are all levels that the chart could come back to and catch. All right. Very simple. Some simple levels that the chart could come back and catch. Now, I'm going to draw a Fibonacci retracement, which essentially does the same thing, only mathematically. All right. Because Fibonacci retracement is kind of mathematical support and resistance. All right, so as you see there, it kind of drew the lines for me. And this was an uptrend. That's why I pulled it from the bottom up. And now it has started to fail that uptrend. As you can see, we were in this price zone. And now we have failed it down to the next price zone. This price zone was where we were. We failed that. Let me make it green where it's nice and bright to see. I'll say hey to everyone in just a moment, by the way. I know I'm talking a lot, but I wanted to get this out. That's where our current price range was. Now, since we failed, we're now down here to this price range. And we're going to sit here until something breaks. What did price do just a couple days ago? I'm going to zoom in here so you can see it. Ran up, bumped its head on that zone, did not get in there, and failed. And now we're right back down to where we were. All the big bullish news, when you saw this green candle go up, everyone got all excited and in an uproar. We hit the pause button and we said, this seems a little much. Just like the down was a little much, the up was a little much, okay? Those big, fast God candles are not sustainable. I've said that multiple times on these streams, and I'll continue to say that. You do not want those crazy move on candles. It's not good for anything. I'm trying to tell you, you don't want that. You want nice, smooth, clean moves that come back and hit resistance and back to support, back to resistance, back to support, and continually make higher highs, higher lows. Not what we've got here. So since we've run up and slapped this and failed, this lends me to believe our next level is down here to our 382 line where the bottom of our zone was. We're in this zone right now. And until we break out of that zone, we're just stuck here. And it's going to continue being stuck here until then. Once it does break this zone, if it breaks this zone, next zone down is down here between 24,005 and roughly 22,008. Right? We have some potential zones here. We have a potential place for this thing to go, which was kind of where this low was to begin with. Yeah, it kind of bumped this line already one time. So we can kind of look at that and say, it seems pretty weak here. It seems like the momentum is pointing down, which I can think is fairly obvious for everyone to see that the momentum's pointing down. Fibs end right about the end of September. So we have a whole month here. Now I'm going to go ahead and warn you. September is historically red. We've had very few green Septembers. 2 out of the last 10 have been green. Of those 10, 6 in a row have been red. What are we going to get this time? Well, one would lean toward red. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we have an awesome green pump timber, is what I was told it was called on crypto Twitter. Pump timber. How ridiculous does that sound? For a moment, think about how that sounds and how ridiculous you sound if you were to go to someone who knows what they're talking about, an investor, a hedge fund manager, a financial advisor, and you say, it's pump timber coming up. They're going to laugh you out of the building. So I need you to start changing your vernacular a little bit and think about what you're saying, okay? From there, I see some key levels. Is there any confluence here anywhere that would make me think that these levels are actually going to happen? Well, that's a good thing you asked, because yes, there is some confluence indicators. Let's start with pivot points. All right, they literally just shifted today because it's a new month technically, because it'd be a new month in an hour. Our next pivot point is down here at 25,327, and S2 is at 24,189. Somewhere in here is where our price action is going to land. And I can draw a box right here between these two pivot points, which just so happens to be that 382 Fibonacci line. And I can say that it's likely that the price comes down here to this box first. All right. I kind of drew it out right here in purple, what I think is going to happen. I drew it in green, but that was on the phone. On my PC, I drew it in purple because it was standing out to me. I always draw in green. I'm trying to be a little different. So I have some confluence with my pivots, right? Also, look where the basic pivot point is, 27,000 flat, which is right along the lines of this 236 fib. So even if it does go up, there's a barrier to progress here in the 27,000 level, where the 27,000 level, where the 236 fib is, and the pivot. Okay, there's stuff in the way. What else? How about moving averages? All right, moving averages show us rolling support and resistance. And we're underneath all of them. That's all resistance. As a matter of fact, look what just happened to this 200 moving average. While this move was happening, we were talking over in the Discord. And I said, look, that thing's breaking the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA, and the 200 EMA all at one time. That seems like an unrealistic thing. Typically, it takes its time breaking these lines one at a time, slowly but surely, and getting through them. That didn't happen. It just cut right through them, which immediately gave me pause and made me think something wasn't right about that. Okay? More downward leaning, in my opinion. So all the moving averages, as a matter of fact, we got a tits cross right here where the 50 is crossing the 100. You see an aggressive move up toward this tits cross and right back down. That means more down is in the future. I like this close that we just had, which was below all the other closes, close to it, but below. This needs to rapidly recover, and if it does not, you're going to get more down. In the Forex world, we call that a lower low and a break of structure. And that's exactly what it's got right there, a break of structure. That's a heavy momentum break of structure. Now, anything else that lends us to think maybe it's coming down some more? How about the Ichimoku cloud? We just went over that today in the Discord for free in our free TA classes that we do. All that's pointing red, 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 red. Nothing to see there, all pointing down. How about we step out to the weekly chart? Ooh, boy, look at that weekly candle. Goodness gracious. Look at that weekly candle. Wow. That is a gravestone doji. Now, before you ask me what a gravestone doji is, how does it sound? Exactly. Sounds awful because it's awful. Now you've got all of a couple days left in this week. The month, let's go look at that. It just shifted. Big red monthly bearish candle. Not great. Back to the weekly first. Do we have anything here on the weekly giving us some confluence? How about we put our moving averages back up there? Oh, look. It appears as though we've bounced off of the 200, 8, and 21 EMA all together in one spot. That's right. We kind of saw the BS coming here. We kind of knew this wasn't going to last. We saw that move happening before it happened and said, yeah, I don't think that's going to cut through all that action at one time and magically go all the way up again. Just doesn't seem realistic. We talked about this in the Discord. You understand? We were talking about this before it was happening, during the happening, and then after. We were all over this. Any other confluence lending me down? Well, the weekly 50 moving average is all the way down here at 23,993 that you see on the right here. 23,993. Not great. Not great. That says we could come down to around 24,000. Okay. That was just so happened to be right in between our 382 fib and our 50 fib and right near those pivots that we just saw a couple minutes ago. We're getting confluence for this area. Cool. So a lot of things are telling me down and not very many things are telling me up. Where does that lead me? That leads me to think more down is coming. And by the way, look at that weekly circle that I drew and look what happened on the daily. It's the exact same thing. You can kind of see this stuff coming a mile away if you can remove your emotions and see it clearly, okay? So, been talking for 18 minutes. Let's go say hey to everyone. And then we will keep on going because I want to show you some more stuff. All right. So, what's up, Jeremy Monroe? He's not even drunk yet. He says, looking forward to it. I'm glad, bro. Look, cousin Jeremy's on here. He said normally he's not able to make it. I'm glad you're here, brother. Better get used to these hours because when this bull market comes back, we all staying up late every night. Darcy said, I got to go to bed, man. I will watch late tomorrow. No problem. Also said, crazy stuff going around right now. I don't believe we'll see a bull market anytime soon. I see new lows coming. You know what? You might be right. So I would lean your way, honestly. I'm going to show you some more stuff here. We can kind of make a better determination. Raging Beagle just dropping in to say hello and hit like. We'll catch the vid tomorrow. Adult hours is rough on y'all people. The bull market will come back and y'all will be hanging in there. They'll watch. Thomas Caillou, what's up? Lunatic Prophet. Ariana, good to see you, ma'am. How are you? Danny Deep Pockets. Danny Carney. Anonymity, good to see you back. Dynamis Dean, what's up, brother? He said, happy birthday and thank you. Welcome to the Forties, bro. It's not a club I'd ever thought I'd make it to, but I'm here. Sir Sigma, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Jay Gross, he said, evening, brother. Greetings from Berserkly. Hope you're staying high and dry. Always, brother. We get hurricanes. We ain't afraid to blow a hurricane out here. We don't even get out of bed unless it's a 4. All right, a 4. And then we go, I guess I'll go get some groceries. For a 3, that's just a heavy thunderstorm. That shit don't even count. Tex, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Wait, what? Says, likes are free. Damn right they are. LSKWO says, hello. What's up, brother? JD Crypto, good to see you. Colo, how are you? Cycling Cotton. That's cold, seems to be going around, and I got it now. Yeah, dude. I got it. I was feeling crummy the other day. Cheesy says, sneaky good day, family. Good day. Manolo, what's up? Jag, Game GM. Good to see you. Kami Sale, he said, my man Keith, good to see you. I'm dying of sleepiness, but couldn't miss it. I'm glad you're here, bro. I'm going to try to keep you entertained. So let's shift the focus here and let me show you some shit. All right. Now listen, let me write this down because I'm going to eat crow when this goes wrong. All right. But I think it's worth talking about nonetheless. So you guys know how I feel about fractals. Yeah. You know how I feel about fractals. You know this. I don't like fractals. And this goes way back to when we first started in crypto. All right. Precursor here. I don't hate anybody. Had things not went the way they did, I would not be here today. So again, I don't hate anyone. I have no regrets. I'm actually glad things went the way they went. The only thing I wish would have been different is we had to maintain friends along the way. But that taught me an important lesson. Investing, we try to keep friends here, right? But it's not about making friends, it's about making money. And friends come along with the process. All right. Those who can't control their emotions probably weren't going to be your friends anyway. So remember that, okay? Use that and harness that. Don't get mad about it. I would love to reconnect. I would love to reconnect with all the old people from back in the day. I'll say his name, Mr. Level Upstream. I would love to reconnect with all those guys. We can all make a lot of money together. If we can all remove the egos and the emotions and we can just stick to the charts and say, screw everything else, we can make a killing together. XRP people, I am on your team. There is never going to be a better chance to buy than from now until April. Never will be a better chance. All right. So I'm here for it. I'm on your team. I want to help make money with everybody else. Okay. Everybody's brain power together is better than brain power separated. I want everybody to be together. All right. Seriously. I'm not joking. I'm serious about that. I want everybody to do it together. You guys can't tell I'm being serious to the computer, but I am. I've spent many times trying to get in contact with some of these people. They've blocked me. They don't want to talk to me. And it doesn't need to be that way. It just doesn't need to be that way. We can come together and we can do more. All right. So a lot of people tell me I'm disingenuous or whatever, and I'm a dick. I don't think any of that's necessary. I really don't. So I got the 12-hour Bitcoin pulled up on the left over here, and on the right over here. Let me switch to 4-hour because I want everybody to get all the price action in here. What I've got on the right is 2019, same time frame. Okay, same point in the system, and we know this because Bitcoin goes in 4-year cycles. Okay, we usually have a year and a half or 2 years of down, followed by a year and a half or 2 years of up. 4-year cycle. All right. So this is same point in the cycle, 2019, the year before halving. We're in 2023, the year before halving. All right. Top of the summer. We are at the top of the summer. Here's the look that I see. All right. So I see the peak that we just had. I see the first drawdown. I see the rapid fall off that we had over here. Look at that rapid drop that we had over here. And then flatlined, rapid drop, flatlined. Look at the quick spike up that we got. Quick spike up. Kind of eerie, isn't it? I think it is. It's not exact. It's pretty close. Quick spike up. Then look what happened after the quick spike up. This thing had a slow and drawn out bleed that it did that led it right down here toward this trend line. All right. Not exactly on it, but toward it. Again, not exactly on it, but toward it. That's why I've drawn out what I've drawn out here. Okay. A long, slow bleed takes a little bit of time over the course of the month of September, a little at a time. It could go fast, but this is 2019 showing you just what 2019 did versus what we have now. Now, here's the problem. I don't like fractals because you're supposed to kind of compare it move for move. All right. Now, the good news is here, right at about 24,000 is where we saw some confluence. So that's right about 24,000 where the bottom of the trend line is. So I'm going to have to adjust my dollar cost averaging setup that I'm going to do over the next several weeks. Is I'm looking for this 24,000 level first. So likely I'm going to start my buying around 24,000. I'm not positive on that yet. Things may change until then. And if it happens in September, that gives me a ton of pause, right? Because September is historically bad. But it's a possibility that this thing could show us similar to what it did in 2019. And I know everybody knows what happened in 2020. So let's talk about that for a second. 25.30 4 hour. All right. So let's slide this down a little farther and see what happens after this down. Now, in my opinion, this should have been the last move down for Bitcoin. Why do I say that? Well, if we scroll back here for a moment and look This was the bottom of the move up, and the trend line that came off of that and went straight up in the air and pretty much maintained the entire bull market until the end. All right. If we did the same thing over here, it's the same look that we got there. Same move. If you took out, which I don't like saying this, but if you took out this pandemic special right here and remove that, everything else lines up perfectly along with the trend. Just that one part right here sticks out below. Now, I don't think that we're going to be out of the water as opposed to a fall once this happens. So if we come out here and go over and make a move up and start moving up toward the beginning of the year, I'm not opposed to some more down here. Okay. Back to the trend line. I have no problem with that. What I don't want to see is this trend line start to fail real bad. So I'm going to employ a strategy to make sure that I get in and out when I should. I'm going to start DCAing at this 24,000 level. If it drops below this, I'm only going to DCA one more time, and that'll be around 20,000, all right, or 21,000, somewhere around there. I'm just trying to get close to the bottom here. We don't have to be dead ass perfect. We got to get close. That's it. We're already close. We're going to get really close. If this happens again, which is possible, I'm going to sell everything and buy everything down here at the bottom. Why? Because, in case you were wondering, this was a clean 1.618 retrace down here. I drew this fib wrong. Yep, I did draw it wrong. There you go. That is a clean 1.618 retrace. So I'm going to employ a very simple strategy here. And I hope everybody's paying attention to this, because this shit, I spent a lot of time on this, thinking this out. Once this 50 moving average fails down here and we don't break trend, because you can see this was a downtrend right here. Once this 50-day moving average breaks right here, I got to start selling. That's all there is to it. I'm going to start bailing on that. I can't help it. If it starts failing, I'm out. Simple as that. So when I see this move come over here and start going up, if it wants to start failing the 50, I'm going to start pulling money out. It's as simple as that. We know how hard alts will bleed if Bitcoin sneezes. And you got a real good example of that just today, right? Every little sneeze rips altcoins apart. And there are some exceptions, but not many, right? This is 2019. Let me show you 2015 and 2016, okay? I want the example to keep on going here. That's 18. It's the bottom of the bear market. And, all right. Getting there, getting there, getting there. All right, there's 16. There is 15. 15 was the bottom for Bitcoin back in the bear market of 2015. We came all the way down. 2014, 2015. Came all the way down. Tried to maintain an uptrend, couldn't. This one was more flat, as you see. Had a nice run up right in the middle of the summer, July, August, and then after that, failure. It failed the 50 moving average, and look how hard that thing came down. And did a very aggressive downward move. How aggressive, you say? Shall we pull a Fibonacci retracement on it and look? Guess what? Right down there to our Fibonacci extensions again, showing you that 2015 and 2019 were pretty darn similar, even with the pandemic special. All right. After that happened, you got no more down. That was all she wrote. So if we get any semblance of this coming down, that's it. Now, this is the only thing that I see that could push us down toward that $20,000 level. Okay. I've talked about this before, but there is a CME gap down there. So I'm going to pull the CME chart up now and show you that. So BTC CME. But first I need to say that we did that We did, well, I said 4 hour. That's fine. Fractal and BTC CME. All right, let's clear this chart off with any drawings that we might have on it. Now, we have a CME gap. I'm going to get to your comments right here in a second, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm just on a roll. I told y'all guys I wanted to concentrate a little bit on one thing tonight to kind of get things cleared up. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Now, I have an indicator for this, but I'm just drawing this box for you. That's our CME gap back around $20,000. I just showed you what it would look like if we had that really gnarly fall. Well, if I pull some Fibonacci retracement here, check this shit out. This one, it starts to mess with my head a little bit. If it gets gnarly and things get really, really ugly, look where 1618 is. Right there at our CME gap. If we attack this CME gap, I think that's all she wrote. I don't think there's a ton of time left for multiple pull downs. All right. I'm hopeful that we're getting 2015 and not 2019, because 2015 was much more aggressive than 2019 was. And with the current sentiment right now, a lot of things are going on. We got Bitcoin ETFs being talked about. They were all delayed for another 45 days. Okay. We got a lot of hype going on. People are getting into it. Oh man, what if ETFs come about? Well, how much money? This, that, and the other. Emotions are starting to flow, right? And because of that, once everything does get in and the word's out that crypto's more mainstream because, hey, it can be traded on the stock market now, boy, you have opened up a can of worms for the big money to finally come in. Now, we know Bitcoin is still going to have its cycle. It's still going to have its bear markets. There's nothing you can do. They're very aggressive. So we're still going to make our plays, take our profits at the top, and wait for another buy signal. It's very simple, everybody. Very simple. So this is the bit of a worst case Ontario here. 24,000 fair buy, right? If we get below 24,000 and it keeps going, last chance qualifier is down there around 21,000 to 20,000. That's the last chance qualifier for me. Anything below that, I'm selling everything and buying absolutely down at $10,000. Just don't see that happening right now. Okay. Just don't see that. Yes, we are at the top of the summer run and we're going to have some pullbacks here. That's just part of the game. All right. Hope I cleared that up for everyone. So you can kind of see what I'm saying, kind of understand it. And also, no matter whether I do this in linear or log mode, it kind of comes out to the same thing. They're so close because we don't have very many candles on the screen. It works out that way. More candles we put up here, the higher the time frame, it's going to get wonky. So linear, log, doesn't matter. They're pretty much the same. Also, if I stretch this out in linear mode here, because you will see that the time difference for the fibs change. So this is linear. Let me pull this just right like that. Now, as you see, that looks like a bearish retest, doesn't it? Let me zoom in. You have this bullish move, bullish move, bullish move. Bearish falls under the trend. CME gap forms. We closed that CME gap with one big candle. Done. Immediate bearish retest on the back of the trend line and right back down to where we were under this 382 fib now on the CME chart. Where to next? Golden pocket. That's where, in my opinion, first we hit the 50 fib. That's that 24,000 level I was talking about. Maybe we bounce there. If we don't, next level of interest, 21,000 to 20,000 CME gap. It's all the same thing. Golden pocket right here. I mean, it literally lines up for us to be able to see what to do without panicking. All right. We can see it, but everyone's got to capitalize on it on your own. All right. If you don't have any free capital to buy with, you're going to be SOL. And I say free capital, I mean stable coins or cash, whatever you've got that you can get in on and put your money in. You're not going to have anything to do with it if you've been hodling. Why are you hodling? We already know that hodling doesn't work except during a bull market, and every other time you get all your gains wiped out really quickly. Ask anyone who invested in scams last time. Oh man, it doesn't matter. I'm throwing gambling money at it. I'm throwing gambling money at it, and it's gone. Gone. Then people stopped throwing gambling money at it because they thought it was a sure thing because I trust the team. They have great devs. Have you seen the use case? Cut all that shit out. All of them are gone. And what are you left with? Pick up the pieces. You think they care? No, they don't. They got their money. They're good. They're going to make another one. You gave them enough money to make another one. Think about that next time you go giving them money. Okay. So let's get to the comments real quick and then we'll keep going. I know I said a lot and I'm sorry. I just get on a roll. You know what I'm saying? I got a Mulvaney right here. I'm about to crack open. Dahlia, what's up, brother? Fractals equal snowflakes. I agree. I just like to talk about them because they do have weight, but they have to be disciplined. You can't just draw them the way you want them to and stretch them. That's not how it works. It won't work that way. That's like doing Elliott waves. People draw Elliott waves with all these ridiculous numbers, and the more you move them, the more wrong you are. Thomas Guy, you said, Keith, where do you store the coins that you bought during your DCA? Do you move them to a ledger or leave them on a SEX, meaning a central exchange? Partial both. Before this bull market, what I'm going to do is for my Bitcoin, when I buy Bitcoin, I'm going to take that and I'm going to stick it on the ledger. I'm not even going to look at it until the top. I've already told myself that. That's it. I'm buying the Bitcoin and it's going on the ledger and I'm not looking at it. And I might even put it in a safe or something so I can't touch it, right? Ethereum, I'm probably going to buy and lend and then borrow against it and then have twice as much capital to use during the bull market because we know everything's going up. It's more safe to do it then than it is during the bear market with all the exploits and idiots and degens. Other ones, likely I'll trade them actively because we know all altcoins kind of follow the lead. And for that matter, I want to be able to get in and get out on most of them. So a lot of them be on a SEX, KuCoin, if you can, Binance, Bybit, Bitrue, MXC, BitGet, whichever one you like. I'll have a lot on there because I can trade them that way faster. There's also DEXs that we can use now, okay? Some of these coins that I'm going to buy will be on a DEX anyway, and not even on a SEX. So you've got to use them on a DEX, meaning a decentralized exchange. It's really up to you. That's just how I'm going to do it, all right? I'm going to make way more by trading in and trading out. I've already done the math on this multiple times, and we already know this to be a fact. So it's important that we stay on top of that. So that's how I'm going to do it. You can do it your way. I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do it, but I am going to tell you how you can make more money doing what you're doing. And that's very simple. If you haven't done so, please check us out. Let me see if I've got it up here. I don't know if I've got it up here or not. Image. Yep. Launchpass.com/these 7 8 6 assassins /half off. Listen carefully. This is the last day, the last chance for you to get in for $8. It's going away after tonight. No more. No more. After this, the price will go up. And the price will go up again in April, and a cap will be put on our Discord for subscribers. If you don't get in, you don't get in. Sorry. We're going to go back to doing live streams where we just chart things. We're not going to be talking about what we've got or when we've got it. That'll all be in the Discord. And then we're going to do our normal streams like we always do, but all of the information will be in Discord. Okay, we'll still put stuff on Twitter. It'll all be after the fact. It ain't going to be none of this, I'm telling you this is what's going to happen kind of stuff. We're doing away with that, all right? We learned our lesson last time. We got too big last time, and a bunch of degenerates came in, a bunch of kids, and started arguments and started fights, and we're not going down that road again. We're not going down that road again. Not going to happen. Only adults, only people who are mature enough to be able to talk to themselves and talk to everyone else in a mature, respectful way will be allowed in. That's just all there is to it. That's not me being a snob. That's me telling you nobody wants to deal with that bullshit. We can be adults. We can all make a bunch of money together. I'll see you over there, all right? Links in the description of this video if you didn't get that picture right there. Again, last day. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, after this, it's gone. Let's look at some other stuff now. If you guys got coins you want me to look at, fire it up and we'll get into it. Mr. M, are we still talking about weak ass strong? No, we are not. That is gone with the wind, bro. We stopped talking about that in the end of the bull market. Mr. M says gas house in the building. Hold up. Hold up. My Gastonia people are in here? Bro, excuse me, sir. Why have we not got beers? I hang out with my gas house people, man. I need to know who you are, sir. Hit me in the DMs. Let's go through. Yeah, I'm not talking about Strong anymore. Strong is an absolute mess. It didn't start as a Ponzi, but it ended as a Ponzi. And people like to say that isn't how it works, but it is. Charles Ponzi, the original Ponzi, did not start as a Ponzi. It became one. He happened to actually admitted that. He had a legit business at first. He just pushed it too far. Right? Can we take a look at Caspa? Yes, we can. All right. First, I'm going to do Ethereum. And I'm going to do Caspa. I hodled Strong last cycle and got wrecked on it because I thought David Moss was legit. Again, this is another reason why I could care less. Let me record this. That is yet another reason trusting the team doesn't work for crypto. Massive bear markets that absolutely wreck everybody. I don't care how good of a developer you are. You're not in control of what the price does. You can't. Unless you've got a bunch of tokens that you're going to unlock and sell off on everybody's head. That's the only control you've got. So when it comes to, do I trust the team? No, I don't. Not a single one of them. Their job is to make money. Their job is to get customers. You to buy their product. After you buy their product, they want you to hold on to their product so their product doesn't go down in value. The problem is they're not in control of that. You can sell it and buy it as much as you want. So they're always going to be bullish to you. They're always going to tell you the best thing possible. Whether that is DAG, whether that is XRP, whether that is Ethereum, or whether that is fucking Strong. It doesn't matter, right? All the same, I don't trust the team. I don't trust the developers, the team, the marketing guys, the PR guys, the HR guys, none of them. I don't care. I'm here to make gains. I want the chart to tell me when to buy and the chart to tell me when to sell. Do tokenomics matter some? Yes, some, but not a ton. If I can look at that and say, that looks like horseshit, I'm not touching that. Well, I'm good enough to know I'm not going to get in that. If I know good and well, there's a secret wallet and secret anonymous devs, and I'm not getting involved in that shit. We're smart enough to know better. Okay? We're smart enough to know better. We can do better. So that's my spill on Strong. For the record, I made 6 figures on Strong. So I'm tickled with it. I made an amazing amount of money on it. And I told everyone I was taking profits. I told everyone to stop. Hopefully this time people listen. Right? Hopefully this time everyone grows up and says, hey man, yeah, I fucking learned a lesson. I don't want anybody to have to learn them lessons, but it happens. Let's have a drink of Mulvaney. Cheers, everybody. Cheers up for your Mulvaneys. Oh yeah. All right. I got some more requests over here. I said, I remember you kept telling us to listen, to sell, and all that, and we didn't listen. That is Banjo the Dog Slayer. That's an awesome ass name, by the way. So Cola says NAKA. That's Nakamoto Games. Then we got Joy and Space. Joy and Space. Then we got Tet KUJI near VELO. Tet KUJI Neo, and what else was that? Near. I'm sorry, near. My bad. And VELO. Yeah, VELO. Been looking at VELO. Also, I got wrecked. That's how I found you. Bloody Strong. Yeah, I don't want anybody to get wrecked. I don't want anybody to feel that pain. Y'all are here now, so y'all are listening right now. Y'all, there's 53 of y'all on here. Y'all 53 are listening and y'all going, damn, dude, he's fucking harping on getting out, taking your profits. Yes, you're going to see me do that at the top. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. JG Wentworth, good to see you, brother. 877 cash now. I have an annuity, but I need cash now. Call him. It's your money. Do what you want to with it. By the way, brother, if you're going to get in $8, that's it. After today, it's no longer $8. I know you've been in and out of the Discord a little bit. Here's your chance. Last chance. Did you happen to cover where the top is? I just got in. All right. Dang, a lot there, friend. Brian W. Yeah, man. Just trying to keep it real. I didn't cover the top. Let's do that real quick first. So I can look at Bitcoin on the weekly here. Put it in log mode so we got plenty of data on the screen. Let's move that out. All right. So we have our top. We have our bottom. We know that our cycles tend to last 2 years in the bull market, and that would end us off at the end of 2025. Okay, that's just the mathematics behind how Bitcoin works and the cycle that it goes in. Barring it changing, which it hasn't ever done, it's always worked the same, we can pull this Fibonacci line all the way out here to the end of 2025. Let's do November. How about that? All right, so if I pull it all the way out there to November, you're starting to see some things line up. You see on the Bitcoin CME chart, it respected this fib very well. It's respecting this fib very well, and it's leaning back towards 21,000 to 22,000, which is where this 236 fib is on a big time frame. All right, this is just standard Fibonacci retracement. Standard Fibonacci retracement. All right. The top would put, if we have a normal top and not a blow off top, and we have our normal extension that Bitcoin hits, which it's hit 3 times out of 3 so far. That would be 106, 132, and 181. I call it 175 though, to be careful. All right. Is there a possibility we blow the top off? Yes, there is. That number's all the way up here, almost 500,000. I think that's hopium. All right. It could happen. I think that's hopium. I think $500,000 is hopium. Be realistic, right? What is the odds that could happen? I'll go over that in a moment. If I add some extensions, great. If I put in fib time zones on top of this and it gives me a Gann grid, you see even more detail here. All right. Same thing, only now I got the fibs going left to right and up and down, and we have created this Gann grid here, which is pretty darn cool. It looks like the optimal time to buy will be around this 50 fib line. You can see right there at the bottom, it says 0.5. That's the 50 fib. It looks like that's the optimal time to buy. All right. After that, our 618 and our 618 kind of line up around 40,000, which is where some resistance is. Kind of looks like that might be the opposite, and it shows us that it's validated and it's moving up like we want it to. I'm hopeful. It kind of shows you that all the way up here, our take profits would still be around 175 to 180. That's where the time zones would end. And we should sell. Then it shows us on the backside when it's time to buy via the 2 extension. And that's way over here at the beginning of 2030. I don't think that's legit because I think that's way too far out to look. So I don't usually use that one. I like to try to stick to the normal stuff. Now we can go back in history and see that between 1414 and 1618 is the optimal place for Bitcoin to buy, which just so happens to be 2026, 2027. All right. Just saying. Now I can go back in history and show you that this works pretty darn well. And I'm going to do that now. Little quick stuff for you. I'm going to make another video on this and release it next week. But I want to show you this nonetheless. All right. Remember I said $500,000 for that extension. Yeah. Which sounds ridiculous. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'll show you that one more time right here. I stretched this out to 2020, the end of 2025, right about there, right? 173, 175, 180, and then right about 4.5 or 4.5 million, 450,000 to 500,000. I know that sounds ridiculous. I'm sorry, but bear with me. All right, let's go back in history a bit here and look at Bitcoin back in the day. All right, starting with 2013. Or where did I start this one at? I don't remember. Oh, my fault. I started the wrong spot. My bad. Or is this the full one? I didn't use the right one. My fault. Let me go to the index. There we go. There we go. This is 2011 bear market, then a big up. After this big bear market and big up, 1618, we bounced around between 1618, 1214, all through our normal take profit fibs. Then we blew the top off, which is where the green arrow is pointing toward 2.272. Fair? Fair. Let's take it a step farther and do this one. Same thing. Same thing. 2.272, blow off top. Same moves right here through 1618, 12172, 121414. All that are normal take profit lines. Then it blew the top all the way to 2.272. Then there's our run we just had last time that we were all a part of and had a great time with. And what did we get? Just a 1618. No blow off top. A blow off top would have sent us around 225,000. That didn't happen. Now, people can blame that on what you want to blame it on. I'm going to put a little bit of weight on the fact that the whole world shut down for a little while and economies were down. So I want to show you fib time extensions too and show you how that works. If I look back in history here and I do a Gann grid on this one, I know this seems weird, y'all. Bear with me. Same thing there. You see the optimal buy time. You see the move up, you see the top come in, and you see right between 1414 and 1618 was the optimal time to rebuy. Okay, we can move this off. Do the same thing here. Stretch this trend out to the top and to the bottom. Ran our move up, hit our top to our peak. After our peak, optimal time to buy between 1414 and 1618. Right in here where our pandemic move happened. I know this shit's crazy, but it messes with my head a little bit, but it is what it is. The math cannot be denied. Same thing in this direction. All right, out to 2025, the end of 2025. It tells us, same thing, here's our peak. Optimal time to buy would be October 27 into 2028 sometime. And you're going to get a 2026 bottom in here somewhere, right? But the optimal time will be after that summer peak happens and it rolls over and comes back down a little bit. The math is adding up in every single direction. I can't tell you what else to say other than the fact that this is fully possible to happen, all right? Don't know what else to tell you. Now I'm going to get to all these other assets. Brian said $8 is a venti cup of coffee. Exactly, bro. Thank you. Blitz says, what's up, Keith? What's up, Blitz? Lots of info in the Discord. It's so worth it. Darren Cotto says, welcome to Assassin. Bro, what did you do? Did you subscribe or something? I don't know how that works. It's in green. It's got a little star beside it. Minor Mike, what's up, brother? Good to see you. That's awesome, dude. Welcome, Darren. Glad to have you. So let's look at Ethereum. Minor Mike, good to see you. All right. So I got a similar look from Ethereum. Same point of origin on my fibs. That's why I started here and moved up. All right. It's the same look as far as that really, really gnarly weekly candle right here. That's an ugly ass weekly candle. Let's just be real. Do I think that's going to bounce up? I mean, maybe a little, but I don't see a lot of high end right now. Ethereum will bleed harder than Bitcoin. It always does. All right. And when it does, first level 1517. If I flip this into linear mode, you'll see why I did what I did. Comes all the way back to November, same move. You're sitting on top of the 50 right now at 1607. It looks a little better in linear mode. Still not great though. These are really, really ugly candles. This looks like more down to me. And I think this golden pocket, which is what I have highlighted here, is going to be our optimal bottom area. We could get more down, and that's looking the same area, October, November here, right? Same area where it's going to find its bottom, maybe work to the right a little bit and potentially come off that bottom some. I'm hopeful. I don't have a guarantee. I really don't. Wish I did. So if I pull this fib off for a moment here, I started talking about ETH at 54 minutes. All right. If I pull the trend line here now, instead of having that fib up, you'll see that this trend line comes way over here, which is kind of in line with the golden pocket. So again, I'm leaning toward that being the spot, and that's in a linear mode, not even log. Be about the same difference in log mode though. I'm still catching part of the golden pocket there, so it doesn't matter. There's my Ethereum look. I'm patiently waiting. Again, I'm probably going to buy my Ethereum, send it over to a DeFi platform, borrow against it, have twice the money, and I'll probably buy alts with the stable coins that I get given to me. I'll ride the ride up. I'll pay the loan back. I'll get my originally staked Ethereum back, and I'll ride that up until that fails, and I'll sell that, and we'll double up that way. That's why I'm doing it. That's how I'm doing it. Don't say I didn't tell you. Caspa. Way too many numbers there, Keith. All right, Caspa. Ugh. All right, Head and Shoulders played out pretty darn well. We shared a Head and Shoulders chart in the Discord. I actually ripped a picture off the internet and I put it over here, and it was a picture of a Head and Shoulders logo. I can't do it on here. I get sued. But I don't like this thing breaking that neckline. Bearish retest on the bottom side of it here. This looks like it's going to pull back to me, back toward 2.5 cent, 2.8 maybe, 0.028, I should say. That would be a fair retrace. Let's pull the fib on this. Yeah, you're hanging out on the 50 right now, so maybe we get some more short-term up here, some more bearish retest on the bottom of this Head and Shoulders. But I do think it's possible this thing comes all the way back here to the golden pocket, about 0.028 or so. We'll see. It may not go that far. It may hang out above 0.03, and I'm hopeful that it does. Honestly, I hope it stays up there because I know a lot of people are really high on this one. The problem is, man, this thing grossly outperformed everything. It has got to slow down. It can't keep this up. It has to breathe. All right, and a good breather here would be great for it. I think it'd be a chance for it to catch its breath and gear up for the next move up. Caspa's been a top performer, and I mean, I'm hopeful that it continues being a good ride for everybody. NAKA. Crypto. All right, Nakamoto Games. Similar story, knocking on this trend line, then failing it. I don't like that. That's not great. Not an ideal look. Let's pull a fib on this short-term move here. And about like that. 382. It's hanging out right there at that 382. I mean, what else we got here? Yeah, the 200 moving average is getting about 0.326 for the 200. So 0.32 to 0.31, I think, is a fair target for NAKA first. And then we'll reassess from there. It's not a buy right now, though. Not even a little bit. So I would be careful with that one. Joy. All right, that is at 58.15. I got a counter going over here so I can see all this. Yeah, this one looks terrible. There's definitely no way I would buy this yet. This is just a big falling knife so far. This looks exceedingly like some other charts that I've seen that are exponentially bad. Take what you want from that extreme pronunciation there. All right, space. I don't mention scams on here anymore, so I can't say the name. All right. So again, space, still a bit of a falling knife here. It does look better than most, but it's under the 821 and the 50, so I can't get a hold of this till I see some positive change here. This one looks like it's going to keep riding its way down. I would think the first bottom is around 730 something, but we'll see. There's not very much data here. Low data means it's harder to chart. So bull run babies like this tend to do good, though. So let's see what happens. TET. USD. All right. Same thing for TET. That's 59.30. Same situation. 821 downward cross. When you do get a 50-day moving average up here, it's going to be under it too. So no real jump out of the page buy signals yet. I would be careful on this one. And it's a falling knife. There's no support here. So this thing could keep falling indefinitely. Careful. Kujira. Kujira has more data here. I like this, but it's under the 200. Oh, let me write this down. 1 hour. Kujira under the 208, 21, 50, 100, everything. So this is a no until it rapidly improves. Last two here near. Oh, man. Falling knife, big falling wedge under every moving average. I can't give it any props until it does something. It's got to break. It's got to break something here first. I mean, like it's just like Gala. It keeps falling, and I can't say anything good. It's a falling wedge. Once this wedge breaks, I would like that, but it hasn't done it yet. So I can't jump on board till it improves rapidly. Last one, VELO. VELO looks better than the others. Yeah. She appears to have broken this downtrend right here somewhat. So we might have caught something here at the very end of the stream, but be careful. Yeah, never mind. This is right. Never mind. You see that? That's the big bull market trend line right there. And it hasn't broke that heifer yet. Looks kind of like VRA where it's kind of stuck in the mud here. Be very careful. This thing could reverse back on you. Now, I will say you've probably got a decent look on the 821. You do, 821 and 50 moving average. So potentially this thing runs up to the 200, but be careful. Have a nice stop loss here because it could turn around on you very rapidly. That's a lot of up compared to most. Many coins have failed here, right here near the end. So be careful, be smart, and don't do anything out of character. Let me answer any questions that I might have in here. Minor Mike. Yo, Beverly's on here. What's up, Miss Bev? Good to see you. She's out there in Lao. Good to see you. That's awesome. The Chad, what's up, Chad? He says, hello, effers. AKT, I could do AKT. You know what? Because you're on here, I get buckets. I appreciate you coming on here, bro. AKT, this is the last one. We're over time. I try to keep it a buck and always stay under an hour, right? All right, AKT looks very good as compared to most. I'm at 102 and 15 seconds. So you're over the 50, 100, and 200. You're under the 821 EMA. I would expect this thing test the 50 at 89.5. I'm sorry, 0.895. I would expect to test that. From there, we're going to see if it can hold it because a lot of stuff's coming down. If it does fall past that, 75 cents is a decent barrier, but I do see some more down in the future here. It's got to come back and catch support. Closest support is at 75 cents. Well, there is some up here, but it's not very much. You got much better support down here in the 70 to 75 cent range, but we'll see. Better than most, though, I will admit. Now, good to see you, Miss Bev. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. Listen, those of you that are on here now have an opportunity that most simply won't get. I'm sorry that's the way it is, but it is what it is. We'll never be a big-time YouTube channel. We'll never be like that. Number one, we do crypto after dark, and it's the adult channel. We drink beer, we drink whiskey, we use bad words. Hey, guess what? I hate to break it to you, everybody, but that's how the investment world really is. It's not all bubbles and shine and a bunch of degens throwing money around. That's not how it works. This is business. So thank you all for coming. Zoom going on after this in the Discord for all the subscribers over there. Thank you all for watching. Make the best of your todays, the worst of your tomorrows. Please do that. That's Jay-Z. And lastly, you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to be here with me. You'll never know how much I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really do. It blows me away that any of this data has happened to me. Any of this stuff has happened to me. I don't really have an answer for where I'm going. I don't know what the future holds for me. Nonetheless, you all are here, and I thank you for that. Y'all be good. See you next Thursday. Sky's the limit. Peace.